Hi guys, it's Mrs. Power, and I'm going to give you an extra assignment today. I want you to peer grade somebody else's FRQ. Now, I know I didn't tell you guys that you should be answering these in the full-on format, and that's okay. What I'd like to do is walk you through how to grade. And in the Google Classroom, I'm going to assign you one person's paper where their name has been removed and it's just student 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I'm only going to assign you one, but I wanted you to see all of them so you could see the whole range of what people write down in an FRQ. And at the end, you're going to give them a grade. And if they don't get full points, you can, when you submit it to Google Classroom, tell me where they lost points. Tell me the exact section where they lost points. All right, so here we go. So first thing is we want to see that they wrote their HO and their HA correctly. So that is going to be worth 1 point. Now, if they'd used any other symbol other than a P for population proportion, that's also going to be worth 1 point. So the HO should be an equal sign, the HA should be a not equal sign, so you're checking for those two things. Okay, so that's 2 points right there. Then we're going to have another point over here if they identified the variables. Now I used sub whatever the year was. They might just have done P sub 1, P sub 2, and that's totally okay too. So as long as they identify whatever this is over here, that's worth 1 point, and then another point for identifying the other proportion in the problem in the HO. Okay, so far there's 4 points. Okay, so here's another one, is finding their sample proportion and finding the first one and the second one. Okay, and then for combined, we'll do an extra one right there as well. Okay, so for the conditions, so we're going to do randomly selected in both years. That's going to be worth 1 point. The rest of them are going to be 2 each because you have to check each population separately. So for the 1009, for the 10% rule, that they're saying it's greater than all adults in 2008, and the other one in 2007, there's a point for each of those. And then we have our test for normal, and it's going to be 1 for the first group that had 1009 and 1 for the second group that had 1020. So we're looking for those as well. Now here's the most important part. I'm going to change the color on this for a second. Is we're going to give points for the name of the test itself. So you're going to give 1 point for a 2 sample. And I'm going to give them a point for each part of that. So for the 2 and for the sample, 1 point for the word proportion, 1 point for Z, and 1 point for test. Okay, so if they called it a t-test, they're going to lose that 1 point right there, and you would say why. But then when we go down to the next part that's worth points, is going to be right here. Whatever they named it right here should be what they're setting equal to in the very next step. So if they called it a T, they're going to lose the point up here, but they're still going to get the point right here if they say T equals. Okay, when they did that, they should have gotten about a 2.815. So that entire thing is only worth 1 point. Okay, so the next part is for the probability, how to find the p-value. So for sure, 1 point for the correct p-value. And again, there can be a rounding error there, and that's not a big deal, either for the 2.815 or for the 0.0048. You should be pretty close though, like within a decimal point. All right, so what I would love to see is you actually talking about it being two-sided, that's the 2 part. And you could do that either here by putting in the probability statement, or you could do it all the way over here by coloring in your normal curve on both sides, okay? And then the other part is the z-score should be greater than. So we're looking for that part as well. And that part, so we're looking for that colored in part. So again, if they're doing that over here instead, that's okay too. We're looking for them to name that 2.813 or 815 and color into one side or the other. Now I'm not going to give a point on this one for the normal notation. I could have, but I wanted to see if they drew or they wrote the statement. Since it's a z-score, we could probably get away with not writing the normal stuff because z-scores only really exist in the normal world. If this were a t-score, that might be slightly different. But I'm going to leave it for the points here for the double-sided, for some kind of probability, either coloring in the picture or the statement, and then the p-value. And then for our answer, we're going to give them 1 point for comparing the two sides. So 2 points, one for the p-value, one for the alpha level. If they have the symbol going the wrong way, they're going to lose 1 point right here. Okay, and then their decision should be another 1 point. We reject H sub O. So, and then the conclusion in context. There should be something about we have convincing evidence against the null hypothesis, and that's not in context. So we would want to say something about convincing evidence that the responses have changed between those 2 years, and that is also worth 1 point. Okay, so let's hope I can count right and we can total these up. I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Whew, this is a lot of points, isn't it? Okay, let me try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Is that right? I think it's out of 23. Okay, you count them up. At the top of their thing, you're going to write or you're going to tell me it's 23 points. When I had originally done this, I think I only got 16 points, but that's possible. It's a whole number. I probably can't add to that. Okay, so you're going to put their score out of 23. You're going to put that into the Google Classroom. In the Google Classroom, I'm going to assign you one person's score. And we'll talk about this on Thursday during our video meetup. So be ready and have it graded by then, please. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.